Shoot.
So, few questions. You're the player of the match. How do you feel?
Feel good. We got 3 points. That's the most important. Little bit of shaky game for us. I think especially the first 30. Hope came up absolutely huge for us. I think she had like 3 saves that I don't think anybody else in the world can make. That was amazing. I think we settled in a little bit more, a little bit choppy. I mean, I think that you could tell we were a little bit nervous, but settled in a bit and were able to get some goals and 3 points. That's most important, especially in this group. It's shaping up a little weird.
Any questions? Yeah, please.
Megan, what turned the game after halftime, or even beyond halftime, and into around the 60th minute?
I think we settled in a bit more. We kind of, they were getting behind us quite a bit in the first half, and they did a few times in the second half, but I think we kind of sorted that out, and I think we just settled in a little bit more, put the ball on the floor and more confident in our possession, which opened up quite a bit.
Yes, please.
Megan, from early on, you were challenging the goalkeeper from 25 or so. What were you seeing, or what gave you that confidence that she was vulnerable from that kind of distance?
I think it was a combination of just wanting to test her early. I played against her a few times, and she's a really good goalkeeper, so it wasn't like she was bad, and that's why I was testing her. We lacked a little bit of movement. I think in the first half. They did a good job of kind of sitting in and killing space and just to kind of try to get something. I'll probably shoot too much. I think I joke with my teammate Kim Little in Seattle. She waits till she has the perfect shot, and it doesn't matter what kind of shot it is for me. I'll take it. Yeah, the first one I think I picked up. Ball was kind of bobbling around. Picked it up defensively in our attacking third and took a touch. I think it took a deflection off someone, but. Yeah, it was going on goal, so I'll take that one. And then the second one, Carly had a great defensive stepped in, won the ball, and it bounced right to me. And they were caught out of shape a little bit, and just took on the right side center back and put it across goal. Yeah, I was doing my best Messi impression, I think. Very slower, much slower version of it.
Hey, Megan, you said that this group is shaken out a little weird, and you saw the Nigeria-Sweden result. Also, Cameroon scored 6 on Ecuador. What does it say about the rest of the world, maybe closing the gap on you guys, and how conscious are you guys of that you can no longer rely on a second half to just put games away?
I think very conscious. I think that's been happening in the last 4 or 5 years at least. Definitely happened at the last World Cup. The teams are so good now, and I think the teams in the top 10, that's the base of it. It's not just the top 3 or 4 or 5 now. You saw today, bar a couple of saves from Hope Solo, we might be down 3-1 in the first half. So I think it's brilliant. Now I saw a few comments on Twitter yesterday. I know there's a 10-0 game, and you don't want to see that in the top level, but I think overall, if you don't expand the field, you don't see teams like the Netherlands and teams like Switzerland come into this tournament. So, and you saw a 7-0 or 7-1 in the Men's World Cup, so that was a semifinal. So it happens.
And the next will be the last.
So is this one of those cases when good teams find a way to win when they're not playing their best?
I think so, yeah. I don't think we played that well today. I think that we can be a lot better in possession and just a lot more confident on the ball. I think we're better than we played today and got caught, kind of going long when we need to settle it down. I think the times that we did settle it down had a little bit of, good spells of possession. You could see how we can knock it around and be dangerous. But we need to do a lot more of that. I think we're, a bit nervous first game of the World Cup and lots of pressure and all that. So hopefully we'll settle in and games are on now.
Last question.
Megan, when you played Sid down the left side for the second goal, what do you see on that play? How do you see that develop in your mind to see Sid and play her the ball there?
Yeah, that's kind of her I would say go-to sort of natural run. And I think when I get the ball coming on the inside, defenses tend to shift with me. So I try, if they'll let me go all the way to goal, I'll do that. But Sid, really opens up, and if they don't step enough with her, then she's wide open on that run. She's so quick; she can turn the corner quickly. If if somebody played me that ball, it'd be stuck out there somewhere. But she can just turn the corner so quickly and press. Came out of nowhere, really. She came all the way from the other side. So she's really dangerous, and we've talked about that, those runs that really open up a lot of space.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, guys.
And congratulations.
Thank you.
Again. So, Coach, first match day, first game. Can you talk about that a little bit? It's not? Yes.
Obviously, very disappointed in the result. I thought the performance was quite good for large patches of the game. I thought we had certainly plenty of chances, especially in the first half, in the first 30 minutes. But I guess a couple of bits of class in the end from Rapinoe changed the game and LaRue. So yeah, they deserve their victory. And look, I'm really proud of our players. I thought they put in a good performance, but it's not enough, and we need to regroup and improve for the next game and learn from this game. And you know, we've got a tough battle now against Nigeria, who I thought were exceptional today. So yeah, there's, as we know, no easy games in this group, and still a long way to go.
Megan Rapinoe was just in here talking about how, but for a couple of Hope solo saves, it might have been 3-1 in the first half. Can you just talk about that, how that may have changed the game and the saves she made in those shots, I think, in the 5th and 13th minute?
Yeah, of course. Goals change games, don't they? And when sort of America got their second goal, they had a little bit of momentum on their side after that, and then on the counter-attack got the third one. But, you know, we never know what would have happened. I thought we certainly played well, and I said we'd come out at them and attack and not sit back and let America dictate the game, and I thought we did that. You know, so that's why I'm really pleased. The effort of the players and the spirit and the execution was there, and, you know, not only Hope, I think the crossbar helped her as well once. So, but yeah, a couple of fantastic saves, and they win your matches, don't they? A couple of saves down that end, and then a little bit of, you know, good finish from press, and that changes the game. But I certainly thought we were well in the contest, and for the first 15-20 minutes, I thought we were, you know, way more dangerous than the team, and certainly looked more threatening than they did in that period. And even though Rapinoe scored that, you know, that deflection goal, I still thought we were the more dangerous team in that period, and then possibly the last 10 minutes of the first half as well.
Stage, it was a great first half. Do you think Australia pay a little bit too much respect to the US in the end? I mean, the record now is 26 without a win.
I'm not sure what you mean by pay too much respect. What does that mean?
Meaning that you go in without confidence because of the past record, and the record hasn't
No,
been
I
good.
don't think. Look, I think exact opposite. I thought the players had a lot of belief that they could win today, and I thought that showed in the first half. You know, if we sat back and let America dictate the game, then I'd probably accept that comment. But I don't accept that we played with a lack of confidence at all, or lack of attacking prowess. We certainly showed what we can do, and as the question just alluded earlier, like we certainly could have been a couple of goals up after half an hour. That's not being scared at all. And at the end of the day, you have to give America credit. They had a couple of bits of class that turned the tide of the game halfway through the second half, and we probably wilted a little bit there in the last 5-10 minutes. But I certainly still think we were well in the game up until that point at 2-1.
Stadge, looking at particularly the last two goals, how much do you think the absence of Claire played a role in the result?
No, not at all. I don't think. I think Laura Alleyway played a fantastic game. She actually hurt her hip in the 5th minute in a challenge with Wambach when she crunched to the ground and battled her way through that. I think that had more of an impact. You saw her limping around there for a long time. So, have the heart and the spirit to play for 70 minutes with a corked hip was really brave. And she kept up with LaRue for that second goal all the way and never let her get away. So she was fantastic today. I thought Laura Alleyway against Wambach, she won a lot of aerial battles and won a lot of, the direct play that America threw at her. So I was really proud of her. And for her to continue on, despite being in a fair bit of pain, was a tremendous effort. So, I don't think any other player could have done what she did today. She's probably the best aerial player in our team, and hopefully she'll be fit for the next game.
Yeah, Coach. Your team started very well, physically strong, tactically and mentally alert. But along the line, it seems they fizzle out in terms of strength and robust style of play. So what should we be expecting when you're playing against a Nigerian team that play typical attacking and strong African flair football?
You got two very similar teams, haven't you? Two teams who like to attack and two teams who like to go at each other. And as I said, I thought they were fantastic today. I thought they probably should have won that game from the 40 or 50 minutes of the game that I saw. So, we'll give them a lot of respect. I've seen all their games that they've played recently. Nashwala's a big threat, and the other striker, the number 9's a big threat, and Ordega's a big threat. So lots of good players and lots of skill and speed in that team. But we've got lots of skill and speed as well. So it'll be a very intense and very exciting game to watch, I think. I think that should be a sellout for that game because two attacking teams with lots of flair and attacking ability, I think you hit it spot on.
This one's a little bit out of left field, but there was some forest fire issues in the next province that brought a lot of haze to the area today, and there were some concerns about the air quality. Did you have any issues within the team relating to that?
No.
Alan, do you feel like midway through that second half at all that you guys lost a little bit of steam in terms of energy or got stretched a bit?
Yeah, I don't know if we got stretched too much. It was really a couple of balls, or one ball over the top, and then the third one was a counter-attack where we had possession and I don't know if Rapinoe intercepted it or got the pass off the intercept and then ran 50, 60 metres, but we were sort of chasing the game there as you have to at 2-1, so you're not really disappointed with the team when you get one on the counter attack at 3-1 because it just showed we still wanted to win. As Val said, we're not willing to sit back and have a respectable 2-1 loss. So our players are still pushing forward. Yeah, we certainly didn't have as much energy and didn't create as much as we did in that first half an hour period, and maybe that took a bit out of us, but we still kept pressing. Sam Kerr got on the end of a header there, and Ash Sykes nearly got on the end of one or two little through balls there as well. I just thought we lacked a little bit of quality there in that last 10 minutes. We probably had more time on the ball and better passes and better decision making. That was probably on, and I think that probably allowed America to dictate and probably keep the ball for that last 4 or 5 minutes when probably we should have been doing that and create a lot more chances through some controlled possession.
Coach, we already knew this group was very deep, high-quality clubs. After the Nigerian game this morning, or this earlier today, does it, make the task even taller for you to move forward?
Well, the task is tough for everyone, isn't it? It's only round one. No one's won or lost the World Cup no one's won or lost the World Cup after round one, have they? So we've seen lots of teams lose a game, or not win their first game and still go on and win the World Cup. So as I said, I've got a lot of respect for Nigeria and Sweden. They're tough teams, and they battled away a really good game today. As I said, I thought Nigeria were especially dangerous and electric, but they're only on 1 point, and if we beat them, we're in second place. So there's a lot of football still to be played. So it's just one game. You've got to regroup and see how everyone's health is tomorrow, and certainly you're going to see another big performance from Australia in the next round.
Alan, there's obviously, along with the disappointment, the group's still wide open considering the third place team can get through. What's the mood amongst the players after today, and how do you kind of lift them and move forward from this?
Oh, look, we just got off the field, but obviously everyone's very disappointed. We're well in the game, and as we said at half-time, probably the better team for the majority of the first half, but football goes for 90 minutes, not 45. So, look, we'll take a lot of positives away, as you do from any performance, and look at the things you can improve. And that's part of football, about growing and learning, and we're still a young team, so still a lot to be learnt, especially in this World Cup environment. But I've got no problem that we're going to be extremely competitive against Nigeria and Sweden, and really, 3 or 4 points might be enough to get you through. So we're well capable of getting a couple of wins still in our last 2 games. I've got no doubt.
Stage, what's more important for the next game? Is it getting the ladies in tune mentally or physically?
I think that was a pretty bruising encounter, so obviously physically it's going to be very tough. But Sweden and Nigeria, I think, battered each other as well in a little bit hotter temperatures than what we had. So we've all got to back up, same rules for everyone, but mentally we'll be fine. I'm really happy that we're all disappointed. We're not happy with losing 3-1 to the US. We thought we had portions of the game that we could have been in front and dictated the game, which is exciting. So, we're all disappointed like we should be. We're not happy to lose 3-1. So, that means there's a lot of belief in the team that we're as good, and on another given day, we probably could have had, as was said earlier, 1 or 2-0 lead early on and carried that through the match, and that changes the whole game. So I think there's a lot of belief, and again, you're going to see that when the players come out next game.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
First match day, first game in this competition. Can you talk about that, please?
I mean, I thought it was a challenging first game. Australia is a great opponent. I thought the first half, a little bit of nerves on our part. Pleased with the early goal, but I don't think we played particularly well in the first half. But what I was pleased with is we kind of grew in the game. The fan support was phenomenal. I think our players kind of settled in the second half, and I thought it was a much better second half than first.
Any questions? Here in the front, please. Thank you.
Jill, you said right here yesterday that you didn't want the team to play their best game in the first game. You wanted to give them room to grow.
So damn literal, aren't I? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's, I want us to get better, but, I don't think it was a poor first half. I think it was just, a combination of you're playing a very good opponent right out the gate. You've got some newer players on the field in a big moment, and I didn't think we really played with a rhythm and just a sense of calmness about us. I thought we were a little bit nervous, to be honest. So, but yeah, I mean, the important thing is we grow, and I thought the second half was something that we can build upon for sure.
Thank you, Jonathan Tannenwald from the Philadelphia Inquirer. You talked about that sense of calmness, and Megan Rapinoe is a player who brings that sense of calmness on and off the field in a lot of ways. How important was it to have her step up tonight in the way that she did?
It's good. I mean, Megan thrives in these big games, big moments. It's she's got ice running through her veins, but a lot of passion inside of her, and she's a player. She's a game changer, and that's what makes her special. I think sometimes when you have teams that are neutralizing each other, you look for those special players to step up. I think we've got quite a few of them, but certainly tonight she did, and had a tremendous impact on the game for us.
Please ask.
Okay.
Can't hear you, Grant.
No.
I'm just kidding.
I got him.
Still had some big saves early in this game. What did you think of her performance?
Fantastic. I hugged her afterwards. I said, "You get a hug tonight." She was tremendous. I mean, she's the best goalkeeper in the world, and I've said this for the last 2 or 3 months. I think she's looked really, really sharp in training, played well in games. She's had laser focus, and I thought that was on display tonight. She was the game changer again.
Jill, you mentioned the crowd earlier at the back here.
Sorry.
You mentioned the crowd earlier as phenomenal.
Yeah.
What other thoughts did you have as you settled into the match and saw the red, white, and blue and heard the chanting? And did it feel like a home game?
It did. I mean, a couple of players, when they went in, they kind of, as I heard them take the pitch for warm-up, sort of said, it feels like we're playing at home. I mean, it was tremendous. They were behind us. The Outlaws were there, and I know a lot of friends and family, but then just fans of soccer, and it was great. It was great to have that kind of noise and that kind of support.
Please, thank you.
About the hour mark, you look like you got Alex ready to come in. Was that earlier than you had intended, or were you always intending to get her up at that point?
No, I mean, I think, the goal with Alex is to give her a little bit more extra time to warm up. So, my plan was to try and get her 15 to 20. So we give her a little bit extra time to warm up. So that's probably why she started a little bit earlier.
Here, please. Thank you.
Jill, Jeff Carlisle from ESPN. What did you make of the play of your midfield, and in particular, you talked about the rhythm, but also the movement off the ball?
Yeah, I mean, I think the first half, Australia plays 3 in there, and I think initially, Carly and Cheney, we gave a little bit too much space in there. And their midfielders get pretty tight to you, so there's not a lot of space and room to play. So we had to find the space out wide. But I thought second half, in the locker room we talked at halftime about our wide players just being a little bit more aggressive, trying to take on, get at them on the flanks. And then Carly and Cheney, the message for them was, we got to step up a little bit defensively, start winning more 50-50 balls in there, because from there we can transition. So I thought they both dug in and had a much better second half in terms of just our defensive presence against, it's 2 against 3, right? So, but I thought they did well.
Hi, I'm Christopher from Sweden, Aftonbladet in Sweden. Well, after these 2 games today, can you tell me something about playing Sweden?
It's the second game, another opportunity to, try and get some points. I saw a little bit of the game because we were kind of traveling and on the bus and such. But, right now it's an opponent. They're a very good opponent. They're coming off of a tough physical game, as are we. So I think it's, it's going to be two teams that know each other very well. And I think both teams will be prepared, and we'd love to get 6 points right now out of the group, and that's important for us in the second game, and certainly they want to try and get points. So I think it's going to be a very open game.
Jill, there were a couple moments, one in particular where Sam Kerr got in behind and Becky Sauerbrunn was able to chase her down from a disadvantage point.
Yeah.
Can you just talk about Becky and what she brings, and sort of especially that play as being sort of a potential turning point?
Yeah, I mean, Becky, Becky's just grown and grown. I think she's one of the best center backs in the world, probably a little underrated by our opponents in terms of what she gives us and what she can do. Without Christy there, she's now settled into a leadership role. But her individual defending, her ability to read attacks and snuff things out and trace things down. I mean, she's tough. And she's good with the ball in front of her, and she's good tracking down the ball behind her. But she's really become a mainstay, and just really pleased with her growth. Been tremendous.
Last questions? Thank you.
Jill, Nancy Emmer with USA Today. With some of the other results that there have been, obviously Nigeria, Sweden, Cameroon beat Ecuador 6-0. Is it almost good to have
you're not going to ease into these opening games. You're going to come out and you got to be prepared from the very first whistle. So I think in terms of mentality, I think in terms of having tough matches going into a game, a halftime tied up. Yeah, I mean, I think those things serve you well down the line. So yeah, I mean, you know, the other two opponents in the group are tremendous. We're going to have to be very, very good. But the next, you know, hopefully get out of your group, and then it's knockouts, and you want to make sure you're ready.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.